They started dating behind the scenes of K-dramas, lived a true fairy tale romance, and then everything simply fell apart. There was cheating, shady comments, public fights, and even a surprise divorce. If you still believe K-drama love is perfect, you might want to rethink that. Today, you're going to see the 5 most beloved couples by fans, couples who fell in love for real, and then crashed hard. And the worst part, you probably rooted for them. If you've watched City Hunter, you know the chemistry between Lee Min-ho and Park Min-young was insane. The drama, released in 2011, was a massive hit and quickly turned them into one of the most loved couples of that generation. And it didn't take long for real life to imitate fiction. Right after filming wrapped, rumors started circulating, and soon paparazzi photos of the two together hit the media. The Korean press went wild. It was official. The City Hunter couple had taken their romance off screen. Both agencies confirmed the relationship, and the news hit the K-drama world like a bomb. Fans were thrilled. For a moment, it felt like everyone was allowed to believe that K-drama love could actually exist in real life. They were young, gorgeous, famous, and seemed to have everything going for them. But it didn't last. Less than a year later, in 2012, the breakup was announced. And unlike the fairy tale vibe that surrounded the beginning, the end was cold, dry. Both agencies used the classic excuse of busy schedules as the reason. They said the two were too busy to maintain the relationship and had mutually agreed to go their separate ways. But the public didn't fully buy that story. What really shocked everyone was what came after the breakup. They never spoke about it again. Not a single interview, no subtle comments, nothing. It was as if it never happened. Fans who followed them on social media started noticing the icy distance. Public events, avoidance, award shows, zero interaction. It was like Korea lost a couple and gained 2 strangers. The absolute silence led to endless speculation. Some believed the relationship only existed because of City Hunter's success, a marketing move to keep the drama relevant. Others truly believed there were real feelings involved, but that something serious happened behind the scenes that never came to light. There were even those who swore that one of them was the one who wanted to completely erase that chapter from their life. Even today, when fans talk about this couple, the feeling is still frustration. Not because they broke up, but because of how everything was buried like it never happened. Lee Min-ho and Park Min-young went on to shine in their careers, he in big-budget productions and she with unforgettable roles in rom-coms. But that story, which started with so much magic, ended in a silence that still feels uncomfortable. A couple born on set, and when it ended, it was as if it had never existed. And if the end of Lee Min-ho and Park Min-young was marked by silence, the next couple lived the exact opposite. Gu Hae-sun and Ahn Jae-hyun started out with a modern fairy tale image, and ended with one of the most public, messy, and painful divorces in K-drama history. Their story began on the set of Blood, a 2015 drama. Ironically, the show was poorly received by both critics and the public, but it was behind the scenes that a real romance began. Despite the drama's lukewarm reception, the chemistry between them caught everyone's attention, and it didn't take long for the relationship to be confirmed. Soon after, they were married, literally. In 2016, Gu Hae-sun and Ahn Jae-hyun officially tied the knot and became Korea's weird but adorable couple. They appeared together on reality shows, gave interviews filled with affection, and enthusiastically talked about their domestic life. They were even considered a model couple, different, creative, and mature, but it didn't take long for the fairy tale to crumble. In 2019, Gu Hae-sun shocked everyone when she used her Instagram to expose her own husband. She said he had changed, lost interest in her, no longer treated her with love, and that he wanted a divorce. That was the beginning of a media nightmare. With every post, new accusations came out. She claimed he came home drunk, refused to talk to her, and was in love with someone else. At first, Ahn Jae-hyun tried to handle it quietly, but soon got dragged into the public back and forth. He said he was being manipulated, that he was trying to escape a toxic relationship, and that Gu Hae-sun was twisting the truth. Agencies, lawyers, official statements, everything became front-page news. The public, who once adored them, split. Some sided with her, others with him, but no one came out of this war unharmed. On top of it all, the scandal directly impacted both of their careers. Ahn Jae-hyun disappeared from TV for a while, and Gu Hae-sun started being seen with suspicion, as someone who used the internet as a weapon. The truth is, they lost much more than a marriage. They lost their image, the public's affection, and even job opportunities. A love that started behind the scenes turned into a public spectacle of hurt and resentment. And the worst part? There was no reconciliation, no relief. The divorce process dragged on, including legal battles, property disputes, and even medical reports being brought up. It was also brutally public that even after the breakup, the story haunted both of them for months. If there was ever a couple that seemed unique and genuine, it was them. But all it took was a collapse to prove that not every relationship born on a drama set is built to survive once the cameras stop rolling. And while Gu Hae-sun and An Jae-hyun aired every single detail of their breakup, some couples did the exact opposite, choosing to live everything in silence, from beginning to end. That was the case for Kim Bum and Moon Gun-young, a couple that quietly formed behind the scenes of Goddess of Fire, a historical drama released in 2013. The series itself wasn't a big ratings success, but once again, what grabbed attention was what happened off-screen. During filming, rumors started circulating behind the scenes. Kim Bum, already famous for his role in Boys Over Flowers, and Moon Gun-young, considered one of Korea's most talented actresses since her teenage years, seemed to be getting a little too close. At first, no one really believed it, since both had always been very private about their personal lives. But just a few months after filming wrapped, the couple was spotted on a romantic trip around Europe. There was no denying it anymore. They were together. Their agencies confirmed the relationship, and the public reacted with surprise, but also with a lot of love. They seemed like an unlikely couple at first glance, but they quickly became extremely beloved. Moon Gun-young had this pure image, almost like a sweet, innocent girl, and Kim Bum, with his charming and mature vibe, seemed like the perfect match. During their trip, they were seen in Prague, Paris, and other cities, walking hand in hand like two young lovers on vacation. Everything seemed so light, natural, and far from the typical pressure of being Korean celebrities. But this modern fairy tale didn't last long. In March 2014, about 7 months after their trip, the agencies announced the breakup. No fights, no scandals, no drama. The explanation was straight to the point. They decided to go their separate ways. And that was it. No interviews, no emotional statements, not even an attempt to give an epic ending to something that had started with so much expectation. And maybe it was exactly that coldness that disappointed the fans. After such a beautiful beginning, the ending left the feeling that everything was shorter and more superficial than it seemed. Some said it was just a vacation fling rather than real love. Others believed media pressure or conflicting schedules were the main reasons behind it. The fact is that since then, the two have never been seen together again. Not at events, not on shows, not even in subtle comments. Moon Gun-young ended up dealing with health problems and stepped away from the spotlight for a while. Kim Bum, on the other hand, continued working in dramas and films, but also chose to keep his private life completely off the radar. Unlike other couples, they never exposed themselves, but they also left nothing for the public to hold on to. No memorable quotes, no shared memories. What remains is the memory of a romantic trip between two talented actors, and the feeling that it could have been more than it was. And while some couples left little behind for fans to remember, others made such a huge mark on K-drama history that the breakup still hurts, even years later. Song Joong-ki and Song Hye-kyo are, without a doubt, the biggest example of that. They weren't just a beautiful couple on screen, they were a cultural phenomenon. The chemistry between them in Descendants of the Sun was so intense, so perfect, that the public had no doubts. This couldn't be just acting. The drama was a milestone. Released in 2016, it captivated not only Korea, but the entire Asian continent. It became one of the most exported dramas of the decade. Dr. Kang Mo-yeon and soldier Yoo Si-jin became iconic characters, and so did the actors behind them. As fans fell in love with the characters, rumors were already heating up behind the scenes. And to everyone's delight, the confirmation came. Song Joong-ki and Song Hye-kyo were really together. And more than that, they were getting married. The wedding took place in October 2017, surrounded by glamour, white flowers, and flashing cameras. It felt like the entire public was invited to the ceremony. They were nicknamed the Song Song couple, and became the ultimate proof that K-drama love could, indeed, become reality. But that dream didn't last as long as everyone hoped. In June 2019, less than 2 years after the wedding, the divorce announcement came, and it was abrupt. No detailed explanations, no interviews. Song Joong-ki was the one who filed first, releasing a brief statement saying he hoped for a peaceful ending. Meanwhile, Song Hye-kyo issued a note saying that personality differences made living together impossible. The shock was massive. The couple that seemed unbreakable was over, and no one really knew why. Once again, silence spoke louder. But unlike other cold breakups, this one hurt more, because the public was invested. This wasn't just a good-looking couple. It was the couple that made everyone believe in love. The lack of answers opened the door to every kind of speculation. Cheating, incompatibility, media pressure, family conflicts. Nothing was ever confirmed, but the theories never stopped, and the aftermath didn't make things easier either. Song Joong-ki took some time away, but later returned with new projects, and eventually remarried, this time to a foreign woman outside the entertainment industry. Song Hye-kyo chose silence, focused on her career with major productions, and stayed private, avoiding any personal topics. the image of the perfect couple was, in a way, shattered. But even today, if you ask K-drama fans who the most iconic real-life couple was, many will still say Song Joong-ki and Song Hye-kyo, because for a while, they didn't just live love on screen. They made everyone believe it was possible off-screen too, and maybe that's exactly why the end hurt so much. And if Song Joong-ki and Song Hye-kyo showed how even the biggest fairy tales can crumble, the next couple made it all seem even more intense. Because in this case, the romance was born live, in front of cameras and the public. Ji Hyun-woo and Yoo In-na starred together in Queen In-hyun's Man in 2012, and what seemed like just a sweet time travel love story became one of the most unexpected and emotional real-life love confessions in K-drama history. The drama was light, creative, and had amazing chemistry between the leads, but no one imagined it was actually happening for real. It wasn't until the wrap-up event that the shock came. During an interview, right there in front of everyone, Ji Hyun-woo grabbed the microphone and, without warning, confessed that he loved Yoo In-na live. No script, no agency approval. The journalists went silent, the fans screamed, and the video went instantly viral. In the days that followed, no one knew if it was a marketing stunt, a reckless move, or a real confession. But shortly after, Yoo In-na confirmed it on the radio, saying she was in love with him too. It became one of the most sincere and unexpected moments in Korean entertainment history. The public was absolutely charmed and deeply rooting for them, but the love that started so passionately also faced enormous pressures. Ji Hyun-woo soon enlisted for mandatory military service, and the relationship had to survive distance, an exhausting routine, and constant media speculation. While he was in the army, there were very few updates about them. The silence started to bother fans. Until in 2014, shortly after his discharge, the breakup news came. No scandals, no public fights, no dramatic statements, just the end. The agency simply said they had decided to part ways for personal reasons. And just like that, the love that began with a movie-like declaration ended in a quiet, melancholic silence. To this day, many fans believe that Ji Hyun-woo was more in love than Yoo In-na, and that his public confession put extra pressure on her. Others think that the time apart during military service was the real culprit. What no one denies is that, for a brief moment, they gave the world one of the most genuine and bravest love stories in modern K-drama history. A love that started with a microphone and an unexpected "I love you," but ended in silence, as if time and real life had quietly erased what fiction once helped create.